a sudden, no matter what direction you're turning it, it always goes, ah! Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Imagine Flight. My name is Davis.
And I am a noob.
This is my friend Landon, and he is completely new to this hobby. And so I figured that he was the perfect person to bring in and help us learn a few of these drone terms. Now the reason we're doing this video is because I had a friend mention to me that in some of my past videos I was using terms and stuff that people just wouldn't understand, like pitch and roll and yaw and headless mode. So in this video, we're going to explain all of that. So, let's start. So, what is FPV? FPV stands for first person view. So when you get, here, hold these. When you get a little drone like this, and it has a little camera on it, and you put these on, that is what's called FPV because it feels like you're there. That's first person view. Some of the same terms are used in video games, like if you're looking at the character you're being, that's called third person, but if you're just there and you can see the gun, that's called first person. So now you know, FPV is first person view. So the next term is headless mode. So what is headless mode? Usually you can activate it by like pressing one of the buttons on this remote. Pretty much what it does is it locks your drone in to this mode where forward is forward and backwards is backwards, sideways is sideward all the time. So if you're going forward like that or backwards like that, it doesn't matter which way the drone is facing, it'll always move in the same direction. So, here, move that one up. That one goes up, starts to go forward. So what happens if you turn that one? It starts turning like that, but it stays going in that direction because it's in headless mode. So it just kind of locks it into the same course no matter what direction it's turned, if that makes sense. Alright, so next up we have the terms pitch and roll. So imagine we have these two axes, and this one is called roll and this one's called pitch because, well, that's what it is. You set your drone on these axes and this is roll because it's turning on the roll axis. So that is roll, and then pitch is the same thing except for forward. This is turning on the pitch axis. Does that make sense, Landon? Good. Alright, so the next term we have is MAH. Now you'll hear people referring to this when they talk about batteries, and it's right there. It's kind of blurry, you can see it, but it says 450 MAH. What MAH stands for is milliamp hours. Okay. You got it? Milliamp hours. Yep. Makes sense, right? Now what does milliamp hours stand for? Well, it doesn't stand for anything, but it pretty much just means the higher the number, the longer your battery is going to last. Basically. There's a lot more you can get into it. Like the discharge rate. If the discharge rate on the battery is higher, that means it's going to discharge its energy faster. So even if the milliamp hour number is higher, if it has a higher discharge rate, it's still not going to last you longer than, say, this one. This one has about half the milliamp hours that this one does, but it also has a lower discharge rate, so they're both going to give you about 4 to 5 minute flight times. Make sense?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, so yaw is pretty much just the movement of the drone counterclockwise and clockwise. It's pretty basic. Does that make sense, Landon? Good. Also, another term is plug-and-play motors. When somebody says that the drone has plug-and-play motors, what they mean is that the motors have a little connector that just plugs into the main flight controller board. So that means if you burn one out, all you have to do to replace it is just unplug it and put the new one in. There's no soldering required whatsoever. Alright everybody, so I'm going to demonstrate what yaw is. One last time. So that is yaw. And you can do it in both directions, okay? So now we're going to do roll. Roll is when you go from side to side, and pitch is when you go forward and backwards. That makes sense? Landon shakes his head. Yes, it makes sense. Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to demonstrate what headless mode is. So, as you can see, in normal mode, forward is forward, backwards, you turn it around, forward, still forward, all that. But when you put it in headless mode, you press the button, and all of a sudden, no matter what direction you're turning it, it always goes in the same direction. Okay, so that's a wrap for this video, guys. Go ahead and let me know in the comments down below if you have any more questions or if anything else needs to be explained. Was that all good?
All good.
All good? Nothing confused?
Nothing confused.
Okay, good. We'll see you guys next video.